So expressing this in simplest radical form is you have two options. You can find the perfect squares and then take the square root of those. Or you can do a factor tree. Factor trees are usually the easiest because you can visualize it a lot better and it can break down into those prime factors, which are real nice. Okay. So I'm going to take the 90 and I'm going to break it down. Someone give me two factors of 90. Any two. Good. 9 and 10. Okay. 9 we know can break down into 3 and 3. This is prime. Or you have a perfect square right here. That's another way of looking at it. This breaks down into 2 and 5, which is also prime. So I'm going to take the square root of 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. Now, when I look at this, I'm looking at a square root. I'm looking for twins, things that match. What matches here? If it's let's see, like a quintic, that's 5. You would be looking for 5 that match. If you're looking for a cubic, you'd be looking for 3 that match. Okay, but since we're using square roots, we're looking for 2. Okay, so what number repeats? Okay, 3. All right, so this repeats. So that is the same as saying the square root of 9, which ends up being 3, right? And then I multiply 2 times 5, which leaves me with 10. So that is your simplified form, 3 square root 10. And that's what you're going to type in right here. So this is the most basic way to simplify these, okay? Into its simplest radical form. Any questions on that? Why don't you guys take a minute just so I can answer some questions and work on these two. Simplifying radicals right here, the single, okay? I'll give you 5 minutes. Yeah. You finished them all? You did them all? 100%?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I got 91%.
Uh-oh. What happened?
I put the wrong answer for like 2.
Okay, got about another 15 seconds. Then we're going to move on to the next example. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. All right. Okay, so this is multiplying the two together. You have a choice here. You can start. This is just where what I like to do, but you do what you wish. Okay. I like to put them both under the same radical. So here's 10 and then multiply them together. Since these are multiplying, you can combine the radicals and you can separate them as long as they're multiplying or dividing. Then I like to break down the 10 into 2 and 5 and the 6 into 2 and 3. Rather than multiplying the numbers together and then working with that big number, I can work with the smaller components because it's already factored a little bit. So this now leaves me with 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. Where are my doubles? Which number doubles? Good. 2. So this is the same as saying the square root of 4, which ends up being 2. And then I multiply these together, 15. Okay. Why don't you guys take 3 minutes and work on those next two? And then you could always ask me questions if you have them. So this should be multiply, divide. I think they're right here. Now, if it's division, I don't see a lot of division. Let me see if there's any. That's multiplication. I think they're all multiplication. That's multiplication. That's multiplication. Yeah, it's all multiply. So. There's a division one. Same thing, reduce this first and then simplify. Okay. So nothing too different there. Maybe I'll add one more just to be safe. Yeah, maybe I'll add this one. Right now, just work on the multiplication. We'll work on the division one in a second. I'll switch this around. And remember, this time should be used going through that stuff. So if you have questions, I can answer them. And a little less free to take home tonight. If I have any questions so far, let me know with modifications. Anything I can help with. All right. All right, let's move on to the division. So I did, if you need to hit refresh to get to this one, just hit refresh. Because I moved one up as an example. All right, so if we're dividing, we're going to do the same thing we just did. We're going to reduce the square root of 125. All right, so I'm going to take 125, and I'm going to break this down. Someone give me 2 factors of 125. I need 2. Calculators are fine to use if you need to. No judgment here. I like calculators. I use them all the time. What we got? $125 is definitely divisible by what? Lowest number. Yeah. It's definitely divisible by 25, okay? So that would mean if I divide this by 25, it would be 5 times 25, right? All right, so there's a prime. Break this down into 5 and 5. So this 125 just changed to 5 times 5 times 5. Now, we're still only looking for 2 that match. Do we have 2 here that match? We do. We're only going to use 2. I know there's 3. Don't get hung up on that though, okay? Just use 2. This is the same as saying this is the square root of 25. So that ends up being 5. And then what do we have left? We have a 5 in the radical. So we're not done. What that means is that this just changed to 5 square root 5 over 10. Is there something else here that we can reduce? What do you guys think? Yeah. The 10 and the 5, right? Now, it's important to note, it's not this 5. If it's under a square root sign, that is a different number completely. Okay? The square root of 5 is not the same as saying 5. In fact, if you put the square root of 5 in your calculator, you're going to get like 2 point something. It's not the same. But this one on the outside, that is a legitimate 5. So that means 5 and 10 can reduce to what? 1/2. So this is going to be the square root of 5 over 2. Or 1 times the square root of 5 over 2. Whichever one you want. Delta math should accept both. Okay? So never ever. The reduction happens outside of the radical. It does not happen inside. Okay? If they're both radicals, that's a different story. Questions on this? Okay, I want you guys to take a minute. Again, I want you guys just to be able to ask some questions. All right. Work on, I want to say, like, definitely this last one and like go up from there. That'll have the division ones. So why don't you take a couple minutes and work on that? Do you want to start? If you're done with this, do you want to start working on the vocabulary? You can.
Sure. Where's that at?
I'll get it for you. Just give me 1 second. Sure, just say it. Okay, so here's that row. These are all normal line, not assigned. So just make sure. This, you're gonna find a lot of this in one row, but this backside you're probably gonna find in the back of the book, and then you'll find the rest in one two.
And when is this due?
It's not due tomorrow, if that helps.
So it's the next week.
Definitely probably need it by Thursday. Yeah,
This week?
definitely 1-1 has to be done by Thursday.
One. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
My dad made me do my homework yesterday.
Yeah. Good dad. Depends on how you look at it. You'll appreciate that when you're older. Funny if I say something like, where's your math? It's like, and I'm not home. My husband works in it. It's like, where's your math? My son is very lucky that both his parents are very good at math. But not so good in English. So just not in ELA. We're both not ELA people, that's for sure. I have a respect for it, but dang, there's just too many rules. How we doing, guys? Is there anything I can help with? How we doing with the prime factors, with the breaking it down with the factor tree? Or as I just heard, somebody calls it like hockey stick or something like that. Anybody have this harp last year? Apparently that's a thing. I did not know about it. Okay. Any questions on that before we move on to adding and subtracting? Okay. All right, so let's move on to adding and subtracting. Okay, so so do you guys remember in algebra, you would have something like this. If I had, 3x, well, we're doing subtraction. Let me do some subtraction here. 3x minus 2x. What would we be left with here? Who can tell me? 3x minus 2x is what? Okay. 1x, right? And we know it's 1x because 3x and 2x are called what? Like, initials are LT. Yeah. They're like terms, right? The same thing happens with radicals, or the same idea happens with radicals. But you're not going to have like terms, you're going to have something called like radicals. And what that means is if I took this same example and I did something like this, and I had 3, let's say square root of 3 minus 2 square root of 3. That would be the same as saying 1 square root of 3. Okay? So in order for these to combine, they have to be the same. You have to have the same radical, same radicand. Okay? So in this case, if we look, we have the same radical, which is great. So that means I'm going to have 5 minus 8, and then I'm just going to tack on a square root of 2 after. So what's 5 minus 8? Good. -3. So this is going to be -3 square root of 2. And that's your answer. I'm going to move on to the next example because I'm going to just let you guys work on this. Okay. All right. So now what happens when we don't have the like radicals? We have to find them using what we've done before, and that's simplifying the larger ones. Okay. So looking at this, I see I have 8 square root 3 plus 6 square root 75. I know the 75 can reduce, so that's what I'm going to work with first. Wow, sorry about that. So I break this down into 3 and 25, and then this is 5 and 5. Now, just like before, I'm looking for doubles. Okay? They're right here. This is the same as square root of 25. So this is going to be 5 on the outside, and whatever's left is the square root of 3 on the inside. Now I rewrite this. So this is going to be 8 square root 3 plus 5 square root 3. Now do I have my like radicals? Yes. Right? They match? Okay. So I just add what's 8 and 5. What does that give me? 8 plus 5 is what? Again, calculators are okay. Really? Come on, we can't. 8 plus 5. $8, and I'm 13. Thank you. So 13 square root 5 would be, I'm sorry, oh my gosh. So you guys got me all in a tizzy now. 13 square root 3 would be the answer. Okay? All right, now I'm going to give you the rest of the period to just finish this because this is due tomorrow. All right, 7 a.m. So basically 5 minutes before the bell rings tomorrow to start the day. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you a warning. I also plan on updating grades, which means your last Delta Math, the Ed puzzle, and this are going to go in real quick. All right? So if you didn't finish the last one, or didn't finish something from yesterday, all right, or last week, this is your warning. I don't usually give too many warnings. Okay? Yes? Shucks, that's right. I made a mistake. Thank you. I will make sure you guys get that point back. Nope, because I missed something. What I missed? You can tell me. Good. I forgot to 6, right? Yeah, that happens. Whoopsie. Yeah, this is actually supposed to be 5 times 6, which gives us 8 square root 3 plus 30 square root 3, which should be 38 square root 3. Is that what it gave you? Man. Wah. Now we're all paying attention, right? I forgot to put that 6 back in. It needed to be in there. If you got it right, I'll give you an extra credit point. Small one. Don't. I said points, not, I'll have to calculate how much that one was actually worth. But yeah. What's up? Was that on that? Hold on one second. Any other questions? Okay. So I'm going to give you, again, today, you have quite a bit of time to finish this Delta Math If you didn't finish the previous one, make sure that's in there. And if you didn't finish the ed puzzle, if you were absent, you got that to make up too. But I'm not going to lie, I am updating grades tomorrow. We are at that point. You have 3 grades, they're going in the grade book. I do not give warnings when I update grades, though, so take this as an advantage. Okay? Sound good? All right. Any questions that I can go over before I stop? Okay, get going.